30 years of joyfulness. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and myjoyonline.com. Also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. This afternoon, former ECG Managing Director Samuel Dubik Mahama denies reports that ECG containers have gone missing, explaining that the containers were auctioned, not lost, and details his efforts at the time to prevent the auction.
At some point, we realized that some of the containers were being auctioned. So
auctioned by whom?
By the GRA, by the Customs Division. I wrote a few letters saying, hey, could you halt on the sale of these containers? I quite remember, I don't think I got any response on that.
Well, we'll bring you details as he expresses disappointment that a special committee put together to investigate the missing container scandal did not invite him as a former MD to explain what he knew.
I wasn't contacted, and it's one of the things that saddened me the most. Contrary to a few beliefs that after I resigned, I decided to run away, I was going to be arrested. I was right here.
Also this afternoon, Ghanaian exporters expressed displeasure over the latest executive order by US President Donald Trump announcing a 10% baseline tariff on Ghanaian exports as a call for an urgent intervention to lessen the burden of doing business.
They are not happy. Already we are facing transportation challenges to those countries. So if Trump is going to charge us 10% across, I think it's something I want the bilateral trade we have with the U.S. government. They should really look at it.
Well, amidst the concerns that the latest U.S. policy might rattle trade relations, U.S. Ambassador Virginia Palmer says Ghana remains an important partner.
So all of that to say that no matter what the change in language and how we express it or the change in focus, Ghana is a really important partner of the United States and will continue to be so.
We have details of that in sports.
Ghana's Black Stars move up in the latest FIFA rankings for the first time in 8 months.
Well, also coming up, mining firm threatens to sue Western North Regional Minister over claims it is involved in illegal mining. With details as the firm Clean Jobs Resources says it is rather working with state security agencies and the Forestry Commission to fight illegal miners who invade their legally acquired concession. Meanwhile, Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa calls on the Judiciary to play a critical role in tackling illegal mining.
This fight involves a lot of sector agencies. I'm very happy that Attorney General is taking the necessary steps to try to reconstruct and bring back dedicated courts in dealing with these terrorists.
We'll bring you details of that and also give you President Mahama's take on the Garrett project details as he calls for urgent action, urging authorities to fast-track these critical projects before heavy rains begin. These and more with me, Maame Esi Nyamekye Thompson. This is Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. Please stay. We start from ECG, and former managing director of the company, Samuel Dubik Mahama, says the so-called missing containers at the ports have actually not gone missing and may have been auctioned by the Ghana Revenue Authority. Speaking on the Super Morning Show, Samuel Dubik Mahama claimed the Ghana Revenue Authority auctioned a number of containers belonging to ECG which had not been cleared because of lack of funds, as well as those in dispute. He explained that he made attempts to stop the auction but did not get a response from the GRA. He is, however, calling for an audit and full-scale investigations to unravel the full circumstances around the scandal.
The containers cannot get missing. At worst, they have been misplaced, or the only other option of a container leaving the port is through an auction. So there's also a database that will show which containers have been auctioned. So let's just use the system, because so the whole conversation is ECG, yeah, it's okay. In every home there are issues. Let's situate it. The containers were in the port.
Okay, as at the time you were leaving ECG, did you know where all your containers were? Were they all accounted for?
To the best of my knowledge, at the time I was leaving, it was well within. The only people that would give me that full facts was the Director for Materials and Transport. And I believe strongly at that point his main concern was that we were not having enough cash flow to take the containers out of the port.
So you had containers at the port, but you couldn't clear them because of cash flow issues.
Yes, that's one. There was an investigation under the LNR project. So those bunch of containers, which was quite a number, were also stuck at the port because Yoko was investigating.
How many?
I can't say off the top of my head, but they are quite. PDS also came in. PDS purchased. The PDS, there was a lot of court cases, and finally we were in arbitration. The moment you take delivery of those things, you have become liable for them. They can claim it for it in their arbitration. So what do? You stay your hand. At some point, we realized that some of the containers were being auctioned. So
auctioned by whom?
By the GRA, by the Customs Division. I wrote a few letters saying, hey, could you halt on the sale of these containers, blah, 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 because they are subjects of blah, 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 blah. I quite remember, I don't think I got any response on that. But
Wait, you
I would
asked
have
them
to check.
to stop auctioning. They didn't respond to you.
I don't recollect.
So these containers that are now popping up, according to reports, in the custody of Chinese and Indians all over the country, could be auctioned containers.
Yes. That's why the only way to ascertain this is a proper audit and a proper investigation to know how they made their way out of the port.
Meanwhile, Samuel Mahama says he was not invited by the special committee set up by the energy minister to investigate the missing containers. He insists he has always been in the country ready to avail himself for accountability.
I wasn't contacted, and it's one of the things that saddened me the most, because contrary to a few beliefs that after I resigned, I decided to run away, I was going to be arrested. I was right here, and I've been right here till now. And so I keep repeating this to everybody. Look, I don't have anywhere to go. I'm homegrown. I did all my schooling in Ghana. I grew up in Fadama. I'm 2 lanes away from the chief imam's place. That's where I used to play football. My mom taught at the Fadama school. I came to serve. And in serving, if I've left and I've been asked to come and account for my stewardship, why should I run away? Look, I pride myself in the success that was achieved at ECG in 2 years.
And you heard the former managing director of the electricity company of Ghana, Samuel Mahama, earlier on the Super Morning Show. Now, the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters is appealing to the American government through the U.S. Embassy in Accra to take a second look at the President Trump's newly announced tariffs for countries around the world. In what the terms as reciprocal charges, United States President Trump released a list of countries that will attract tariffs if they intend to export into American market. And that list is Ghana, which will have its businesses pay 10% on its exports to the U.S. The move, the U.S. president believes, will address trade imbalances.
If you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America. Terminate your own tariffs, drop your barriers, don't manipulate your currencies. They manipulate their currencies like nobody can even believe, which is a bad, bad thing and very devastating to us. We truly can be very wealthy. We can be so much wealthier than any country. It's not even believable, but we're getting smart. Nearly a century later, in the face of unrelenting economic warfare, the United States can no longer continue with a policy of unilateral economic surrender. We cannot pay the deficits of Canada, Mexico, and so many other countries.
And you heard the President Trump of the U.S. Already, the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, FAGE, says its members are unhappy about the directives, adding that they are burdened with freight cost and other factors that create hurdles for accessing the American markets.
It's going to be a challenge because already we are having a lot of issue in terms of freight costs and the cost of shipment and all those in production costs is higher here. So if the president, if Trump is going to charge us 10% across, I think it's something I want the bilateral trade we have with the U.S. government. They should really look at it. If really Ghana also wants to export the U.S. and I also want to look at it in the other way round. Are they also ready? If goods is coming from when we are bringing the import from that country, what kind of things are we looking at? So we have to go back to the drawing board and look at the bilateral trade very well and see what we can do. They are not happy. Already we are facing transportation challenges to those countries, even by sea. The charge alone of container before this tariff also is coming in, I think it's going to be challenging.
Well, United States Ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, is insisting that Ghana remains important to the United States.
The United States and Ghana have a very long-standing, close relationship, as you all know, and it's founded on kind of four pillars, I think. The first is historical and cultural, and something more than $3 billion in bilateral trade and investment is another kind of key pillar, and that's goods and services, but oil and gas going from here, gold going from here, pharmaceuticals, automobiles coming from the United States. So it's something that builds prosperity in both Ghana and the United States. So all of that to say that no matter what the change in language and how we express it or the change in focus, Ghana is a really important partner of the United States and will continue to be so. And I think the sort of emphasis on those things are really exciting because, again, the United States is behind Ghana's economic recovery. And that's through things like the World Bank and the IMF, but also American company interest in coming here. And there's going to be a big trade mission, which I can't announce yet, but it's coming. And I think there'll be a big U.S.-Africa business summit here next year. And I think both of those things will be good signals of the interest from American business in Ghana and Ghana's recovery.
Well, Virginia Palmer also details what this future holds for foreign assistance to Ghana.
What we were dealt with almost immediately was a pause and review on foreign assistance of all types. And we're almost to the end of that. That kind of 90 days would be April 20th, I think. And, but many of the programs have been reviewed and changed. Ghana actually has done better than many places. And I'm very pleased that the life-saving programs are all to be continued. So that new phase of partnership will maintain the all of the life-saving programs. So the infant and child mortality programs, maternal health programs, the malaria program continues, our HIV programs continue, the essential medicines and vaccines programs continue.
Moving on, mining firm Clean Jobs Resources Limited is threatening to sue Western North Regional Minister over claims by the minister that it is involved in illegal mining. The company says the claims by the minister are unfounded and without any basis, and that they have rather been working with state security agencies and the Forestry Commission to fight illegal miners in their legally acquired mining concession. John News has since secured copies of letters written by the company to the National Security Coordinator and the Lands Minister seeking intervention. And my colleague Kuku Asante joins me in studio with a copy of some of the documents we have on the matter. Kweku. First, the company has a public statement in which they threaten legal action against the minister. Why?
Well, so it says that Clean Jobs Resources Limited categorically denies allegations made by the Western North Regional Minister regarding its involvement in illegal mining activities within the Tano Anua Forest Reserve. Clean Jobs Resources Limited is a reputable organization dedicated to upholding the highest standards of environmental protection and legal compliance. It says prior to, they said they've been working with the security agencies to deal with this matter, and that they wish to affirm their commitment to a rigorous environment and legal assessment on this matter. It goes on to say that they will go ahead to seek redress in courts, and they have acquired injunction on properties belonging to illegal miners and supported the security agencies, especially the military, to arrest and impound equipment in the forest reserve, and sought preservation orders through civil claim, which have duly informed the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources about. And they do not take kindly to the allegation that they are involved in illegal mining.
Well, there's also another letter to the National Security Coordinator requesting protection. What are the details?
So yes, this was a letter dated 27 February 2025 from Clean Jobs to the National Security Coordinator that they right to officially request for a military operation to combat illegal mining operations in the Tano Anua Forest in our municipality of the Western North region. It says that illegal mining groups have brought our legally acquired concession under siege for the past 9 months and have attacked our security team together with the Forestry Commission's rapid response team with dangerous weapons anytime the joint security team made arrangement to address their illegal activities.
And another one to the lands minister on some impounded excavators allegedly belonging to these illegal miners.
Yes, according to this letter also dated 27th March, it says petition for intervention on impounded excavators at Tano Anua Forest. We write to your highest office to seek your assistance in the case of impounded mining equipment in the recent operations carried out in the Tano Anua Forest Reserve. Prior to the said operation, we had sought a court order and injunction to attach every equipment we would impound on our concession. We have since attached court injunction papers on all mining equipment impounded during the said operation. They attach the list of the impounded equipment and call for the minister's action on same.
Well, has the minister been responding to that?
Well, we have reached out to the minister. He is unavailable for comment at the moment. He says he's looking into some of these matters that have come to him, and at the appropriate time, he will put out a response.
Well, we'll stay a while longer here because the minister has been speaking earlier on, and the fight against illegal mining cannot be won without a strong and decisive judiciary. The Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boah, has called on the judiciary to play a critical role in tackling illegal mining, stressing the need for dedicated courts to expedite cases related to environmental destruction. According to him, swift and firm legal action is crucial to deterring offenders and reinforcing the government's commitment to eradicating the menace. He was addressing the media in Accra earlier.
This fight is a collaborative effort and involves a lot of sector agencies, a lot of institutions. And I take the opportunity to urge all these institutions, including the defense, police, the judiciary, to play their part. I mean, this story, it goes to underscore the critical importance of the judiciary in this fight. We've already engaged the Attorney General, we've engaged the Chief Justice. I'm very happy that Attorney General is taking the necessary step to try to reconstitute and bring back dedicated courts in dealing with these terrorists. And that's how we see them. They are terrorists.
Well, beyond legal enforcement, the minister outlined several initiatives aimed at strengthening the fight against illegal mining and restoring Ghana's degraded lands. These include the Tree for Life initiative to revive destroyed ecosystems, the geotagging of excavators at the ports to track mining equipment, and the decentralization of the licensing regime to empower local authorities. He also reaffirmed the government's stake that a few individuals cannot be allowed to profit at the expense of millions and pledged to explore financial avenues to support large-scale land reclamation efforts.
This is a period where every police officer in this country cannot use the excuse that order from above. There's no order from above. I'm the minister responsible for lands and natural resources, and I'm telling every officer, everybody in charge, that the president of the republic says, please, there won't be any order from anybody. If you are clothed with the power to do your job, to arrest, do so. You can't cover anybody. I believe that all hands must be on deck. We are not going to win this fight in 60 days, friends. We can't. We must be relentless. We must be focused. We must expose everybody. That's why we have to go after those faceless guys who are behind sponsoring all of this, or marks them. And it will be my happiest day one of these days to basically line up all these so-called powerful people who are continuing to hide, and I'll tell them they are cowards.
And that's Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boah. Well, this afternoon, a request by the NPP minority to the Defense and Interior Committee to investigate allegations that an air ambulance and another private jet may have been involved in drug trafficking and money laundering has been rejected. Minority spokesperson on Defense and Interior John Intimfojo alleged the flights were or may have engaged in suspicious activities after landing and staying in Ghana for 5 days and subsequently subsequently requested a probe by the committee. But the chairman of the committee, James Agaga, has rejected the request. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante joins me with more on this. Kweku, briefly, what's the antecedent to the story?
So it will be recalled that on Tuesday, actually, the minority did hold a news conference at which they claimed that some suspicious flights did land in Ghana, for which reason they want an investigation into allegations of drug and money laundering. Subsequent to this, Team Fojo did write to the chairman of the committee, James Agalga, requesting a meeting, and I quote, he says, I write to request for the committee to invite the above stated security agencies under the oversight of the Committee on Defense and Interior to attend upon the committee on Monday, April 7 at 11 hours in the committee rooms of Parliament. The purpose of this proposed meeting is to afford the agencies the opportunity to brief the committee and provide updates on some of these matters. 1, the operation conducted by National Security in Sapeman. 2, the high-profile bust of cocaine of $350 million worth, and another $120 million of which took place in March. And 3, the 2 suspicious flights, namely Airmed Flight N823AM and Kavok Air, which landed at Kotoka International Airport from Gran Canaria and left on the same day to Gran Canaria.
But what reasons were cited by James Agaga in rejecting this request?
Well, according to James Agaga, this allegation, since having been made by the Member of Parliament, the President has directed the security institutions involved to investigate, with taking some responses from the Member of Parliament, for which reason they do not believe that this meeting should happen now until that investigation is concluded. Let me quote, it says, in view of the fact that the allegations made by your good self in relation to drug trafficking and money laundering with the involvement of those 2 aircrafts, it is important that you collaborate with the security agencies to expose any wrongdoing and also to safeguard the reputation of our beloved country. Subsequently, urgent steps will be taken to invite the agencies listed above and the National Security Coordinator to brief the committee on the outcome of the investigation when the House resumes somewhere in May.
Well, Kweku, thank you very much. And we have the ranking on the Defense and Interior Committee, Reverend John Intim, on the line, joining us with more on this. Reverend Intim Fojo, you've heard your chairman. He says no to the meeting that you've requested for. What's your response?
Yeah, thank you very much, Maame Esi. Clearly, when the President responded to the minorities' press conference, and therein gave a directive for the security agencies, NACOC, Police CID, NIB, National Security, to quickly investigate the matters and collaborate with the honorable member who raised the matter. Clearly, the directive they gave, if President Mahama meant that directive and not for rhetorics, then clearly his majority in Parliament or his MPs in Parliament are the ones defying the directives he gave. So this was a good opportunity. I've written and demanded that, consistent with the claims and the concerns we raised as minority, and subsequent to that, the President directing that we collaborate with those agencies. And these are agencies under us that we work with.
Well,
so let them come Monday so that we meet. We collaborate with them. If there's further information we can't discuss in media and we have to give them, we give them. And we also demand updates from them on how far they conducted investigations. But if minority is blocking this meeting, then clearly they are running away from the meeting.
Well, Mr. Nchimfojo, you made the allegations and the President said that liaise with the security agencies. Why do you have to go to invite them to Parliament? Have you, gotten in touch with them to give them what you have?
No, but how do I do that? I do that by requesting a meeting, which I have done.
But have they invited you?
As the ranking member of the Defense and Interior Committee, in exercising our oversight, this statement was not made outside Parliament. We raised this press conference in Parliament, and we clearly called on them to provide the responses. And so if they want our collaboration, and I have further written to demand that they appear so that we have a meeting and further provide any information that they require, and for them to also update us. And NDC is running away after we had come to an agreement that is what has to be done.
That point.
And then all of a sudden they turn around to block that meeting. Then they have something to hide. If
that point has been made.
Why can't they go ahead with the meeting?
Indeed, that point has been made. But what steps do you intend to take on the matter moving forward?
I intend to explore every available parliamentary tool available to us at our disposal in the exercise of our oversight over matters relating to security, interior, and such related matters. I will explore every such parliamentary tool until such a time when we have answers to these specific 3 questions we are asking. They should tell us what the airlines came to do. Simple information.
So
they came to do so and so, and they left. They should tell us.
Just before I let you go, very, very briefly, do you have evidence to back your allegations?
What question is this?
You're making allegations that these airlines were.
If I do not have any basis, would I have put those things out there?
So you do have evidence.
I put out there, they didn't have accompany it with evidence. So clearly, if they have further information they need, that meeting must come on.
Right. Thank you very much. And here the Reverend John Intim for your ranking on the Defense and Interior Committee. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break. When we return, President John Mahama sounds the alarm on potential severe flooding, citing delays in GARID projects as a major concern.
But I've charged the GARID Secretariat and the Hydrology Section and the Ministry to pay constant attention to make sure that all the projects that have been awarded under GARID to make Accra resilient from flooding are speeded up as quickly as possible.
Where did I? Now I don't know when I just saw. Obiang, what's the chrome ha? Ain't the one to say petrol sulfur energizing drinks for motion. Hey boy.
Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you, oh.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the Midday News. It's time for sports, Mubarak.
Yeah, so Maame Esi, Ghana's Black Stars have moved up 1 place in the latest FIFA rankings for the first time since July 2024. The team now occupies the 76th position in the global ranking and sits 14th on the African continent. This follows the back-to-back victories over Chad and Madagascar in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers.
Thank you so much, Mubarak. Now, President John Mahama is warning of possible severe flooding as he expresses concern over the GARID projects, which he says are all behind schedule. During a tour of major drain systems in flood-prone areas with the anti-flood task force, he urged authorities to expedite all projects and the GARID to mitigate the impact of the rains. There's more in this report.
President John Mahama toured several flood-prone areas including Achimota, Malam Junction, Kaneshi First Light and Odo Drain at Circle as part of efforts to tackle flooding in Accra. He was accompanied by members of the Anti-Flood Task Force chaired by Deputy Chief of Staff and Task Force Head Stan Dogbe. At Malam Junction, Stan Dogbe expressed concerns over a private business, Kitech Motors, illegally filling a Ramsar site and a water retention basin, warning that it could worsen flooding after heavy rains.
So you are selling the Ramsar site to a private company. And you are here to defend the fact that the company is filling the place up and causing problems. Every house there, the water enters into the room. Every house. We can do all the works that we are currently doing up there. If this siltation continues, and you can see that they are going.
President Mahama ordered Kitech Motors to remove the silt and restore the area to prevent further environmental damage.
Can you imagine the volume of water that this place alone can hold when it rains? And so if you fill it up and you say there should just be a drain passing through, the drain cannot contain that water. Let's do what we have to do.
President Mahama ending that report, and it's time now for what's trending, and Jackie's in the studio with her curly hair.
Yes, Maame Esi.
What's trending on social media?
Well, e-levy is trending. A lot of Ghanaians are excited about this repeal. Let me just read one comment. Plato says that e-levy officially gone. Used to pray for times like this. Everyone was praying for this. I'm sure you've sent money.
Yes. I sent money to my mom this morning, and no e-levy was subtracted.
Yes, a lot of people talking about that.
It's very nice, actually.
I'm yet to send mine though, hoping that I would also experience that. But then Black Sharif trending. He has a new album out.
Hey.
Iron Boy. Yes, Iron Boy.
What's that?
A lot of people sharing their thoughts on that. The album has 15 songs on it. Okay. Some of the songs we know already, and social media just trying to dissect the song and giving their thoughts on it and what they think about that. I think after this we just listen to all the songs and get a take of that.
One artist with very deep lyrics, you know.
Yes, we have a mashup of the song so that our listeners would get to listen to it. But let me read one comment. Kojo Ferry says that 14 over 14 album, and now this is a 15 over 15 album. Give Blacko his flowers now. I mean, not all good
Blacko
comments.
to the whole we are seeing.
Yes.
And that's how we end the midday news here on Joe 99.7 FM. I am Maame Esi Nyamekye Thompson. Living Word is up next with Pastor Mensa Otabil.